Hey, bud. You gonna film a video with me? I don't think they can see you. Sorry about it. You'll have to get famous some other way. You couldn't get famous being in one of my videos anyway. Oh, alright. Wow, he really was using me, wasn't he? Anyway, I'm here with my April TBR. I have decided, instead of picking out specific books that I'm going to read in April, I have picked a multitude of books that I'm going to choose from in April to read. Because I don't know what I want to read, but I want to pick something so that I read something. Because I feel like if I don't pick something, then I'll be like, and then I won't read anything. First book on the pile is a spoiler, kind of. If you watched my March TBR and you're waiting for my March wrap-up, this was on my March TBR. I didn't get to it. So I've decided to keep this on my April TBR. I still might not read it in April, but it's a possibility. I might. This is about people in like the 1700s or something, gallivanting, and just having fun before he has to like be a prince or something. I don't know. I heard it's fun. Did I even tell you what it's called? It's called The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I just assumed you were going to read it, I guess, which I shouldn't have assumed that. Anyway, that's by Mackenzie Lee. The next book, this is I'm definitely going to read this one in April because I think it will bring me some cheeriness that I will probably need at some point. I'm going to read The House at Pooh Corner by A.A. Milne. I read the Winnie the Pooh. I just read Winnie the Pooh a couple years ago. It was just a delight. It was so wonderful. And you know what? I want me some more Winnie the Pooh. Also, Tigger wasn't in the first Winnie the Pooh book, so I'm hoping he's going to be in this one. Tigger's my fave. I mean, the whole gang is great, but Tigger's great. I don't know what this is about, except for that Pooh and his friends are going to go on some adventures, I'm sure. Okay, the next book on my list is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know what this is about, but it's about Nikolai Landstoff, my book boyfriend. I love him. I love him so much. I don't even care what this is about. It has Nikolai in it, so I want it. I'm not even going to read the synopsis. I'm going to go into this blind, so there you go. I probably will read this in April, but I don't know. I'll read it soon. Imagine if I read all of these. I also have The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. I've been playing Breath of the Wild on Switch, which I'm not good at. The monsters are so ridiculous. They're so hard to beat. I just die very often. Since playing that, I kind of want to read more fantasy stuff. I don't know what this is about either. Maybe I should have read the synopsises before I picked from my books. I used to know what this is about. Also, the girl sitting next to me on the plane when I went to go visit my friend in the Netherlands was reading this. And she said it was her second time reading it or her third time reading it, and she loved it so much, and it was like her favorite comfort book. So that's all I really needed to know. It went on my to-read list immediately. I don't know, there's magic in it, and I feel like it'll be a fun escape, kind of the same way Zelda is, minus the monsters killing me. The next book here is Welcome to Night Vale by... I don't know who this is by. Why doesn't it say who it's... Oh, it's right in the middle here. Jesus, Nat. Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. It's based on a podcast. I'm not the best at listening to podcasts. I've successfully listened to two. Office Ladies is wonderful. I love them. They're fabulous, great. And Reply All. Reply All got me through 2020. It was like I had some friends with me while I had no friends because of the pepperoni pizza going on. So Reply All has a very special place in my heart. I have a very difficult time listening to many other podcasts. Anytime Reply All had like a guest podcast, like sometimes they had like a different podcast take over theirs for an episode to promote their podcast. I couldn't listen to them. I would tune them out. 10 minutes would go by and I'd realize I wasn't listening. You realize you don't need the fame, right? You can just do this because it's fun. Yeah? Anyway, so I was going to say, maybe I should listen to the podcast before reading this. But what if maybe it's a podcast that I can't listen to? But I don't know. If you've read this / listened to the podcast / both, let me know if I should listen to the podcast first and then read this, or if I should read it and then listen to the podcast, or just listen to the podcast and not read this, or just read this and not listen to the podcast. There are so many options between just two things. Welcome to Night Vale. I was very intrigued by the opening page, or whatever. Suffice it to say that it is a town like many towns, with a city hall and a bowling alley and a diner and a supermarket. It is much like your town, perhaps. It might be more like your town than you'd like to admit. A community where the sun is hot, the moon is beautiful, and mysterious lights pass overhead while we all pretend to sleep. That sold me. Just that. I was like, yes. Yep. I have one more book here, and that is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I have actually not read anything by Marissa Meyer. Don't come for me. But this sounds fun, and also my brother got me the third one for my birthday a couple years ago. So I went ahead and acquired the first two cheaply and I haven't read them, but I should. I thought that was a really cool gift that he got me. I thought it was really thoughtful. He also thought that I wouldn't have to read the first two. He knew it was a third book when he got it for me. He's like, you don't need to read the first two. I was like, yes, I do. It was silly. But anyway, Renegades by Marissa Meyer. It's about superhero teenagers. Let's read the synopsis. Yep, teenage superheroes. Anyway, I've picked some mostly pretty big books, but I'm not planning on reading all of them. I'm going to choose from them whatever strikes my fancy. As soon as I finish a book, I'll be like, which of these do I want to read now? And that's my plan for April. So this was fun, way more fun than I was expecting it to be. I don't know what happened. I just put on some makeup and did my hair, and then I was in a good mood. Also, my friend sent me a video of a dog right before I started recording, so that also helped. Okay, bye.